Hello everyone, welcome to Royal Palace online classes. So for this is for theory students PUC2. So last video I discussed about potentiometer and explained the principle of potentiometer very clearly. And at the conclusion I said that by using potentiometer we can compare the EMF of two cells. So now we are going to see, last class we have seen how we can measure EMF by using potentiometer. In this class we are going to see how to compare the EMF of two cells. So you already know how to draw the circuit diagram of potentiometer. Here comparison of cells, comparison of EMF. In exam they will ask like this, write the theory regarding comparison of EMFs using potentiometer. Using potentiometer. Using potentiometer. First you take a primary cell of EMF E0. Let us consider this primary cell is having a small internal resistance small r. For this you connect a series resistor RS, which can be variable, which is called rheostat. This is connected to a wire. Whose resistance is RL, whose length of the wire is capital L. Okay, this you already know. And this we called in the last lecture as primary circuit. This is called primary circuit of the potentiometer. This primary circuit is provided by the manufacturer. This manufacturer will give you. Once if you buy potentiometer, all these things will be given. You will give the value of E0, you will give the value of smaller, and this rheostat resistance you can adjust. And this resistance of the wire is also given. So once you are buying this device, everything will be given by the manufacturer. Now secondary circuit is, we are going to find the unknown values in secondary circuit. Now in secondary circuit I am going to take two cells. One is I am taking it as E1. Other one is I am taking it as E2. In between these two cells I am connecting jockey. Here I am making three terminals. 1, this is 2, this is 3. These three terminals I am making. Let us observe the difference between previous circuit and this circuit. In previous circuit I took only one cell. For that cell I connected jockey. Here what I am doing, one time I will connect my jockey to E1, next time I will connect my jockey to E2. So that now this circuit is open. These are the junctions 1, 2 and 3. This two plugged jockey I am going to arrange to a galvanometer. Now this is the jockey. This arrow mark indicates jockey. Jockey means a pen which can rotate like this. Now here, first what I will do, I will connect jockey with plug 2. Then this EMF is closed. Now it is open circuit. If I connect this plug to this terminal 3 to 1, then we can measure the EMF of this cell. So based on the formula of EMF in last class we have derived, E1 is equal to, I can write E0 by small r plus RS plus RL into this is the value of current into RL into small l by capital L. Okay, this is the into R will be there, into RL will be there. Now this is E1 will be proportional to, already written E1 is equal to K into L1, where you will get first balancing length. So what we'll do here, when you are connecting this 3 with 1, you will get one balancing length. That second time I will connect this 3 with 2, then this circuit will closed and this circuit will be open. When I am connecting 3 with 1, the circuit with E1 is closed, E2 is open. So like this, E1 is equal to KL1 you will get. Similarly, you will get E2 is equal to KL2. Now divide E1 by E2. E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. This method is used to know unknown EMF. We can know unknown EMF of cells. Unknown EMF we can find. Why? Because this I can write, if I take these two cells connected in series such that they support each other. Next time if I take these two cells such that they are opposing each other, E1 plus E2 by E1 minus E2 is equal to L1 by L2 I can write. L1 by L2 I can. From this we can find the unknown EMF of the cells. Here we can compare as well as we can find. So this is one of the application of potentiometer. By using potentiometer we can do comparison of cells. It is very simple. We already know EMF of the cell in secondary circuit is directly proportional to balancing length. So first time I will connect one cell, second time I will connect another cell and I will find the balancing length. Instead of making circuit like this, you can use the original circuit. First you can take, first you have to do the experiment with only E1. Next you replace E1 with E2. Then again you can do the same experiment. At the two times you will get two different balancing lengths and you can compare E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. Suppose you are getting confused with this circuit. You can take the normal circuit. First time you place E1. Second time you remove E1 and place E2, then find the balancing length. First time you note down the balancing length, second time also you note down the balancing length, then E1 by E2 is equal to, you will get L1 by L2. From this you can find the unknown EMF of a cell can be found. How you can find unknown EMF? Suppose E2 is known, you can find E1. If E1 is known, you can find E2. So this is how we can find the EMF of the cell. Suppose here instead of E1, if I take E, and instead of E2, if I measure potential difference of the cell. That means in a previous class we have measured EMF of the cell. How we came to know that it is EMF? Because no current is drawn. We have followed zero current method. In that no current is drawn from the battery. Because of that what happened? We have measured EMF. Suppose instead of making it EMF, if I am connecting one battery to that cell, let us consider in secondary circuit there is a EMF E. First time I measured without using a resistor. Suppose if I connect one resistor, what happens? It draws current. Resistor will draw the current. So once resistor draws the current, what I am going to measure inside the cell? I am going to measure potential difference. So based on that we can find the internal resistance of the cell. This is the principle we can use. E is equal to E by V is equal to what I can write? V is equal to E minus IR. E minus IR. But I is equal to what I can write? Let us take a cell of small internal resistance, small r, and capital R external resistance. What I can write? I is equal to E by capital R plus small r. I is equal to E by capital R plus small r, because effective resistance, see what I am doing here, I am connecting a cell, but it is having some internal resistance small r and having a resistor, connected a resistor in a series to this cell. So if you connect like this, what is the effective resistance? Effective resistance is capital R plus small r is the effective resistance. According to Ohm's law, what you can write? I into capital R plus small r is equal to E. Now what I can write? I is equal to E by capital R plus small r. So same thing if I substitute here, what happens is V is equal to E minus E by capital R plus small r into capital R. Sorry, this is small r into small r. V is equal to E minus IR, where R is the internal resistance. So here assumed internal resistance as small r. So what you will get? E into small r by capital R plus small r. Here I can take E common. If I take E common, 1 minus small r by capital R plus small r. Now what you will get? V is equal to, you are going to get E into capital R plus small r minus small r by capital R plus small r. Now what you are going to get here? V is equal to, small r will get cancelled, E into capital R by capital R plus small r. Now what you will get? E by V. E by V is equal to E by V value is E into R plus capital R plus small r. So E and E will get cancelled. E by V is equal to capital R plus small r by capital R. So this is the ratio of EMF and potential difference. So this principle we'll use to find the internal resistance of a cell. We used to find the internal resistance. We can find internal resistance of a cell by using potentiometer. So what we can do here? We can find internal resistance. So what is the principle here? First time I will take only one cell without drawing current from the cell. Second time I will draw the current from the cell. Second time what I will do? I will draw the current. Then potential difference is equal to E minus IR you will get. So based on that we can calculate the internal resistance. Okay, next we will see calculation of internal resistance by using potentiometer. Internal resistance, calculation of internal resistance by using potentiometer. Calculation of internal resistance. Internal resistance by using potentiometer. Internal resistance by using potentiometer. See here, what is the circuit diagram for this? Primary circuit will be always same. It is having E naught, a small internal resistance small r, and external resistance RS. For this you connect, so that RS is a rheostat. You are connecting a wire. This is common. It is always same. Primary circuit. In secondary circuit, what I am going to take? I am going to take the cell which is having a small internal resistance small r, and which is connected to a resistor capital R, and there we are having one key which is connected to the jockey, to a galvanometer, and it is connected to a jockey. This is the circuit arrangement. You can observe here, potentiometer always has a primary cell of EMF E naught and internal resistance small r and a series resistance RS, and there is a wire of resistance RL having a length L. Now what I will do, first time I will take what I will do, I will take only, I will keep the switch open. I will keep the switch open and I will rotate the jockey. So first time the switch is open. So no current is drawn from the battery. So once you connect a wire to the battery, then it starts discharging. So if you are not connecting any wire to the battery, that battery or cell will never give the current. So first time I will keep the switch open. When switch is open, I am going to measure EMF because no current is drawn from the cell. So what you are going to measure? You are going to measure EMF. So first time E is equal to, I got KL1. Second time I will get V is equal to KL2. Divide both. E by V is equal to L1 by L2. E by V is equal to L1 by L2. Now already we know E by V is equal to capital R plus small r by capital R is equal to L1 by L2. So that I explained very clearly how you will get E by V. So when battery is in open circuit, when current is 0, there is no effect of internal resistance here. Then you will get V is equal to E. Once if I draw current from the battery, potential difference is equal to this potential difference. What happens is, if you apply Kirchhoff's law also, you will get. You can apply Kirchhoff's law also here. You will get this. You take it as V from here to here. You will get V is equal to E minus IR. So what is here? R. R is the internal resistance. I denoted by letter small r. So current, how you will get effective? What is effective resistance? This small r and capital R are in series. Effective resistance is capital R plus small r. According to Ohm's law, capital R plus small r into I is equal to E. I is equal to E by capital R plus small r. So same thing. If you divide, you are going to get capital R plus small r by capital R is equal to L1 by L2. Now what you do? L1R is equal to L2R plus L2 into small r. Now we want small r only. So what you will get? L2 into small r is equal to L1 minus L2. L1 minus L2 into capital R. This I am sending here. Now what you are going to get? Small r is equal to L1 minus L2 by L2 into capital R. So this is the this is the value of internal resistance of the cell. So by using potentiometer we can compare the cells. So what we have done by using potentiometer? First, by using potentiometer we can find EMF of the cell. Second thing is we can compare the cells. How to find EMF of the cell we have done already. That is E naught by small r plus capital R, capital RS plus RL into L by RL by L into small r. L1 you will get. So this value. So already we have done that. And next, by using potentiometer we can compare the EMFs. So EMF, when you are comparing, what you will get? E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. Next time we can find the internal resistance of the cell also. Formula for internal resistance is small r is equal to L1 minus L2 by L2 into capital R. So this is the formula. So this is the formula for internal resistance. So this completes the theory about potentiometer, and next we have to discuss meter bridge. So that we will see in the next session. Now let us continue the topic meter bridge. This is very small and important topic for both PUC as well as competitive exams. This is very simple, which is based on another bridge called Wheatstone bridge. You already studied what is Wheatstone bridge. It is based on Wheatstone bridge. If you compare this meter bridge with Wheatstone bridge, it will be very simple. So what Wheatstone bridge consists of? It consists of two resistors sorry, 4 resistors P, Q, R and S. And there will be a galvanometer. This Wheatstone bridge also follows zero current method, no current. When there is no current, P by Q is equal to R by S. Now in this meter bridge, what I will do is, I will have one gap. That gap is called left gap, denoted by letter L. In that gap, I will keep one resistor. That resistor we call it as L. Or R1 you take, or P you take. It is better to take P. And we will have one more gap. In that gap also, we will have one more resistor. Here, you will have gap here. Suppose this experiment is there for your PUC2 also. If you take a meter bridge instrument, you will see two gaps. First gap towards the left side is called left gap. Next gap is called right gap. And this is connected to a uniform wire. Uniform wire means the thickness of the wire is same everywhere, so that resistance is proportional to length. You are taking a uniform wire. Now here there will be a jockey, movable jockey will be there. If you connect this to a cell, just like galvanometer, there will be a movable jockey. There will be a movable jockey here like this. Okay, there will be a movable jockey. Now this jockey will be moving on this wire. Now first you start from here. Once you see galvanometer reading is 0, that is called balancing length. Now here we have to discuss one important point here, why it is called meter bridge, because length of the wire is 1 meter. The length of the wire what we are taking is 1 meter, that's why it is called a meter bridge. Suppose at a balancing point L, it shows 0 deflection, means galvanometer is showing 0 deflection. What is the meaning? It has reached the balanced condition of Wheatstone bridge. This is P, this is Q. This part of the wire should be R, this part of the wire should be S. Because this wire also has resistance, so that wire I am cutting into two parts, R and S. So this part is R, this part is S. So according to Wheatstone bridge principle, what I can write? P by Q is equal to R by S. So this R by S, what I can write? So let us take the total length of the wire is capital L. Total length of the wire is capital L. So here we are cutting, this is L, this will be L minus L, length. Resistance of R, I can write it as rho L by A, whereas resistance of S, I can write it as rho into 100 minus L, because length I know it is 100 minus L only, it is 100 only. Rho into 100 minus L by A I can write. So this rho by A will get cancelled. So what you will get? P by Q is equal to L by 100 minus L. P by Q is equal to 100 minus L. That is left gap by right gap is equal to L by 100 minus L. This is the principle. So here just this is the derivation for meter bridge. The condition is that wire I am cutting into two parts. One part I am taking R, other part I am taking S. So resistance of this first part is rho L by A. Resistance of second part is rho into 100 minus L by A. Divide both, you will get left gap by right gap is equal to L by 100 minus L. Left gap by right gap. Left gap by right gap is equal to L by 100 minus L. left gap by right gap is equal to L by 100 minus L. So with this we have concluded the chapter called current electricity. So in this chapter, first what we have discussed is what is drift velocity. First, what is current we have discussed, what is drift velocity, then we came into Ohm's law, then resistances in series, resistances in parallel, cells connected in series, cells connected in parallel, then we studied Kirchhoff's laws and applications of Kirchhoff's laws. We have studied Wheatstone bridge, potentiometer and meter bridge. So with this we are going to conclude the chapter called current electricity. If you have any doubts or if any topic is not clear, you can message us in our WhatsApp group so that we can repeat you. And if you have any doubts or any problems, you can leave a message in WhatsApp group so that I will discuss in the next class. So thank you everyone for joining me. If you have any comments, you can comment in the comment section. Please subscribe our channel so that you will get the notifications of new videos which we are uploading. Thank you. Finish.